We've got $50 to make the best CS2 investment possible. Starting off everything going for the Austin Major. Now first I'm talking about souvenir packages because these have been the most interesting area. The Dust 2 souvenir package is over $5 currently, which is absolutely insane considering you can still buy them in the shop for $3 a piece. Overall, souvenir packages are not the area I would really be putting a lot of my money into, but they seem to be having a lot of hype right now, which is very interesting. Otherwise, we got the breakdown of the capsules, which once again, we're not making any investment into because we haven't seen a 75% off sale. At this point, we haven't even seen the Champions capsule when I'm recording this. It might be out by the time you're finally watching this video, but it's very interesting inside of this area. If we want to look at the ROIs, the only one that's in a really sufficient position is going to be the Challenger sticker capsule, coming in at 35% at a 99¢. Otherwise, we do have the Contender sticker capsule coming in with a 35% at a 93¢ base price point. So there's definitely a lot of variance here when it comes to the other four. I would really say keep your eyes on a lot of the individual stickers. That's where we're going to be seeing the most massive drops in price, as what we've seen already for the Falcons, what we've seen for Tyloo, Lin Vision. A lot of these big name teams have really dropped off in prices. People are expecting the 75% off sale, which means making any investment in this area doesn't make sense at all. Skinland is today's sponsor, and they're also sponsoring you with a free $10 on your first trade. It's where I personally sell my skins because you're going to be getting the highest rate out there. They're offering a maximum amount of money in a minimum amount of time, and it's going to be nearly instant with tons of different payout options. Combine that with their massive marketplace where you're going to be able to buy anything in the entire game you're looking for with a ton of different deposit options here as well. Right now, this is the #1 place to go ahead and sell or buy skins in my personal opinion, so go ahead, use code MasterShiny and check them out today. Now talking about everything to do with our case market, we've got a lot of information to break down. First up, our case unboxing numbers are on the decline. Unfortunately, they cannot stay as high as they could forever, but we're still seeing almost 37 million in the past month, which is absolutely insane. It's very concentrated though. We're looking at almost 80 to 90% coming from active duty and purchasable cases, which is not too big of a surprise. These are obviously the most accessible cases out there right now, and obviously people are going to be unboxing them in mass. However, talking about our rare cases, there's a couple big ones I want to focus in on. Specifically, our Clutch and our Snakebite are dominating the unboxing numbers. However, we've got the Prisma 1, the Danger Zone, and the Prisma 2 almost coming in at a similar, almost near exact level of what we're seeing for the Snakebite and the Clutch case. This is insane. These are cases that should not be unboxed as much as those other two, demonstrating that people are really in demand for these cases. It's a very good sign of what's moving forward for the cheaper rare cases, and even some of our more expensive cases are still being unboxed at crazy levels. Our Chroma 3, our Gamma 2, our Spectrum 2, our Revolver, our Wildfire, a lot of these really desirable cases people are still super interested in unboxing, and that's why we're seeing these price points continue to rise for these cases. It's a very good situation, and I'm really liking what I'm seeing moving forward, and it doesn't look like anything's going to change. Now talking about everything going on with the Armory, it's very interesting because the ROIs on a couple of our big name items are going down. Our Elemental and our Character Craft stickers are no longer 1 or 2. We've got the Missing Link charms coming in at #1, which is very interesting. We haven't heard a lot about charms recently, even though Valve made it so people could go ahead and upload their own charms. It's something that they talked a lot about. Really haven't seen anything to do with that, so they could be getting replaced. We never really know. XM1014 coming in second. Who really cares about it? Interestingly enough, our collections are still at abysmal ROIs. The train is slightly higher than what it used to be at 77%, but it's still showing overall the Armory is in a situation where a lot of the money, obviously it generated 125 million, seems to be coming from the very early iterations of the Armory. Right now, it doesn't seem like there's too much interest overall. Now, one extremely interesting thing going on right now is we're nearing all-time highs all across the board for everything. Now, we talked a lot about our case market. Obviously, we're reaching all-time highs there, but talking about our more expensive market, a lot of these items are reaching prices that were really only attainable during bubbles. And if we want to look at the overall CS market cap, it's approaching 5 billion once again. We're less than 1.5% away from that all-time high in price point. And this is definitely something that if you look at the current trajectory, we are going to be hitting in the next week or two, which is crazy to think about. Everything seems to have fully recovered from what that little dip we saw a couple weeks ago. And right now we're seeing overall a pretty stagnant market, but a slightly growing market at that. Things are mostly stagnant, but some items are growing. Nothing is really going down for the majority of items. And if they are, they're going down 1 or 2%, like the Karambit Fade. Things overall could not be better for the majority of items right now. Even with the Steam Summer Sale coming up, I don't think we're going to be seeing any really major impacts moving forward. And then we got filler skins. Now, I talked about it in my previous video, but it's not just the light blue filler skins that are really in the hype right now. It's every single filler skin is starting to really blow up. If we want to look at our Acid Fade, one that's still actively dropping, we can see the price point is absolutely insane. Only when we move to our discontinued ones, we can see that there is even more movement for a lot of these. Your MP7 Anodized Navy is pushing $2.50. We bought this at 50 cents in this series. That's a 5x on a filler skin. That's crazy. Overall, we're seeing massive price movements all across the board, and even filler skins that double as play skins have really been in demand as well. Look at our Glock Candy Apple, one that's definitely on the more desirable end when it comes to looks. The best part about filler skins though is there's a lot of hidden gems inside of this area because there are so many filler skins. Not everyone realizes how just hidden some of them are and how major you can get a discount on these. We're not talking about every single blue skin being $2.50. Some are significantly cheaper and we can get a massive discount, which is what we're going to be looking to do. Now there's one very important thing we cannot forget about all of this, and that's going to be Valve's impact. First up, we got the potential impact of the map rotation changes. I talked about this a fair bit, but we're probably going to be seeing in the upcoming weeks something happen with the map pool, whether it's Overpass coming in or one of these 7 active duty maps just coming out. Otherwise, we've also got the currency exchange issues. I'm currently in Vietnam. I came here for this and I can definitely attest this is 100% correct right here. You're able to get 26,000 dong for 1 USD and only 24,500 is what it costs for you to get 1 capsule. So there's definitely some pretty massive exchange rate differences there. And then lastly, we got the summer sale. Once again, I don't think this is going to be playing any major impacts, but it is a possibility that there could be a slight decrease for some of your play skins. If you're trying to get in on that, it could be an advantageous time. Now, the first thing I'm going to be buying is some more filler skins. Right now, we talked about it, but I think filler skins are one of the positions that really has been fully capitalized just yet. Obviously, some of these prices are up, but not all across the board are we seeing very exact prices coming in at similar levels. I think we're going to be able to see these come much more uniform, and therefore I think these skins that are undervalued right now have a very strong possibility of creeping up in value quite a fair bit without anything actually happening. And obviously these are great investments long term. Right now they're all discontinued. That's at least the ones I'm investing into, so I think they're very solid moves. Secondly, I got to get into some rare cases. I'm going to be going with some of the cheaper rare cases because I think overall they are just in the most solid position. I actually don't think it's too important which ones you go with. I'm going to be going with some of the clutch cases, even though they are the second cheapest. I like them a little bit more. I've got a fair amount of exposure to snakebite. I think they're in a solid position. If we look at the unbox numbers, if we look at the fundamentals, clutch case is one of my favorites in the top 5 almost always. And even though it's a little bit more expensive, it's definitely not one that I would say is extremely overpriced for the value you're going to be getting moving forward. Number 3 on my list, we're going to be dedicating some of the money aside to go into the Austin Major. Now, we're not making any investment just yet because obviously we've got a 75% off sale. We got a lot more information that we're going to be needing to capitalize on. But if we want to look at everything about the Austin Major, things are unique here, which is really good when we're talking about the future potential of a major. I really like everything that we're coming down to with the Austin Major. It's definitely not the prices I want just yet. We're going to be waiting on this front, but I definitely think there are going to be some hidden opportunities here with the Austin Major. So we're putting some money aside now to hopefully capitalize on that later. And then lastly, right now I think is a very opportune time if you're looking at some of the unique investments. These could be major items, these could be armory items, albeit they are a little bit more risky than I would want to personally take on. There is a huge opportunity right now because people are very focused in on a couple specific things, especially with the Austin Major going on. Unique investments are in a position where they could flourish, they could have a strong opportunity moving forward, and I think it's always an advantageous time to check these out. That's all I got. Thank you guys for watching. Have a great rest of your day.